Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new series here on my channel. Now you have all been hand-selected to join me on this mission because of your skill, your prowess, your immaculate taste in online entertainment. All of the following information is for your eyes only, so for the safety of you and those around you, it is paramount that this remains sensitive. Your mission is dangerous, and it begins here. No, this isn't mine. Change this immediately. There, yes, here. With the IMDb Bottom 100. This is the worst of the worst, people. They will seek to harm you. Remember to remain vigilant. Protect your eyes, your throat, and your anus at all times. Your mission is clear. Identify and neutralize the targets one by one. Today's target is Paris Hilton. More specifically, the 2008 release of the movie, The Hottie and the Nottie. Even the sound of that makes my balls tremble. I'm gonna level with you people. We're not all gonna make it back. But this is something that must be done for the greater good. This concludes your briefing. And may God have mercy on your souls. You are dismissed. Well, that was a bit serious. What's going on? As I'm sure you've been informed by my colleague, we're going to be taking a look at a movie today, but not just any movie. Oh no, this movie is currently sat as the 5th worst movie ever rated on IMDb. That's right, it is way down at the bottom of the IMDb Bottom 100. And yes, it is rated worse than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Nice swing, good form.
I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit scared. I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but I think I'm ready. So, without further ado, let's take a look at The Hottie and the Nottie. Like and subscribe if you're a hottie. And if you're a nottie, subscribe and like. Okay, why does this look like a Hallmark movie from the 1970s? It's been shot on what I can only assume is expired film from that decade. This is from 2008, isn't it? I didn't just get the century wrong, did I? Yeah, no, it's definitely 2008. Okay, well, we kick off the film with this little guy, and he's fallen in love with the new girl at school.
The heavens opened, and that was it. The moment I first fell in love.
Oh, it's so sweet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember falling in love at the age of 6 myself. He's obviously a bit of an early bloomer. I think when I was 6, I want to say I was on my 4th, maybe 5th warning at school for eating soil. Don't know if I was quite emotionally sentient yet at that point, and I'm not going to lie, I don't know if I still am. Although it says 20 years later, but it looks as though we've not even got past the 80s yet. I don't know why this looks so old. Digital movie making had been a thing for at least a decade at this point, and I refuse to believe that this was this was an artistic decision to go with using film rather than digital. The same kind of people who pioneer film, like the OG film directors. I can't imagine the guy who directed The Hottie and the Nottie is quite is on that same wavelength. You'll never guess what, guys. I did a bit of digging online and I actually managed to find one of the cameras that was used to film this movie. And here it is. Look! And it still works. Remarkable. And it's got a note inside as well. It said, "Dear God, please burn this camera." Ha! That's cool.
She sobs at the videos on MTV, but she says it's got nothing to do with me.
First of all, that chord progression was killer. My face is quite literally melting over here. But I don't think that this guy's musical prowess is the least of his worries, as I think that the girl sat opposite him is some sort of face-swapped AI robot of some sort. Why does she look like that? She looks like a fake person. No, for real though, I'm a little bit scared she's going to steal my soul or something. I'm only joking, of course. I'm sure this person is completely normal, level-headed, well-tempered.
She's just an emotional girl. It's fine, you're just you want the guitar?
Or not. Well, turns out that his girlfriend is a complete psychopath who shaved his head at some point and has sprayed loser on his car.
This is not talking!
I tell you, nothing says 2008 quite like vehicular manslaughter. I also love the fact that this is obviously just Naughty's humour. They're just trying to get the point across that his girlfriend's a little bit un poco loco, if you catch my drift. But these days, this would be considered super edgy. Trivialising domestic violence? They don't make them like they used to. Now, you might think that after your girlfriend tries and succeeds at running you over, there might be 1 or 2 legal bits of paperwork to fill out. But Nate, the main character, comes to a slightly different realisation.
Jane was right. No other girl would ever make me happy. Christabel Abbott was the one.
What? He kept the picture of the 6-year-old girl this whole time in his drawer. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know they will have both grown up and they will both be the same age, but he kept the baby picture? It's weird enough keeping photos of girls that you like but are not actually with, but a 6-year-old? That's a little bit raucous, my guy. We are mere minutes into this movie and we've had domestic violence, attempted murder, and a little sprinkling of kiddie fiddling. The Naughties really was something else. Then, in a completely non-creepy way, he seeks the assistance of one of his old classmates in order to track down the 6-year-old love of his life.
That's Christabel?
Yep.
You know, because usually 13's a bad age.
From the first grade on, she just got hotter every year.
That's really fucking weird.
That's weird.
Okay, thank God that the writers actually acknowledged that. I thought we were heading towards another cutie situation then. Although, acknowledging it still doesn't make it not weird.
Naughty?
It's a very well-known law of physics. The hotness of one girl is directly proportional to the ugliness of her best friend.
Okay, once again, I know that they're the same age as the girls in the picture, but they have just explained that the pictures they're looking at were pictures of them when they were all 13. And they're talking about how naughty she is. Not the best look.
Look, I came 3,000 miles to get this girl, and it's gonna take a lot more than a June fig to stop me.
Wait, what? This guy travelled 3,000 miles to find a 6-year-old. Okay, I know she's not 6 anymore, but that is some Jeffrey Dahmer maneuver right there. If you are run over by your significant other, and your first impulse is to travel 3,000 miles to go find someone who you knew when you were 6, I'm gonna go ahead. It's done for you. You're done out here. There's no hope. Like, you know, start with a slightly smaller 10 miles. Let's start with a 10-mile radius. Get yourself a nice local girl. But no, you travel all the way across the country to go and find someone you've not seen in 20 years. Yeah, no, that checks out. Of course, yeah, of course you do that.
Bring out the file!
Coming, precious!
The hottie and her every move. What, this whole thing is about Christabel Abbott?
You should see the website.
Okay, I didn't think we'd get worse than the homicidal girlfriend in the introduction, but this guy's been tracking that girl like she's some sort of deer. Is that an arrestable offence? Stalking someone like that? I hope so. And then Paris finally shows up, and, well, she's called Christabel in this, but that has to be the most annoying name I've heard all week. And I did find out Michael Caine's real name just the other day. Maurice Micklewhite. Yeah, I'm just going to stick with Paris because it's easier. Anyway, she shows up in what's probably one of the longest establishing shots of a character I think I've ever seen. We're treated to what feels like about 10 minutes of slow motion for it. It just keeps going. Gotta say though, Paris looked pretty good in 2008. I'm not gonna lie. Hang on, let me just check that she's not 6 years old, so I'm not like these guys. No, she was 27 at the time. Okay, she was older than I am now. We're good. That is it's the most monkey brain thing I've said so far.
Oh, girl.
Okay then, and I'm not making this up. After seeing Paris running in slow motion for about 10 years, Nate, the main character, is so starstruck. He has like a flashback to when she was 6 and is so inspired by this vision, he gets up and physically starts chasing her.
We fall apart and slam together in the dark. The dark is where the change is made. All the best made plans are laid and turn into a deeper shade.
There's a drinking game for you. Gather all your friends around, slap this movie on, and take a shot every time something noncy happens, and you'll all be comatose before you can say Jimmy Savile.
Were you sniffing me?
Sorry.
She's so cold. If I get DDT'd out of nowhere by a sniffing stranger, I'm gonna be making a bit of a scene. Not gonna lie. She just brushes it off like it's nothing. Is this just an everyday occurrence? Also, I think that being vegan was a little bit different back in 2008.
June's really into her health. She's a vegan, so everything she eats is non-fat.
So that's what vegan means. They don't eat fat. That makes so much sense. I tell you what, I've got to give this movie props as well. It's a pretty inclusive movie considering this was, 2008. They've got super realistic depictions of what albino people are like. Classic albino moves there. Oh, typical. We then meet Paris's ugly friend, and they went all out with this one. She's got terrible teeth, acne-ridden, kind of bald, body hair everywhere. She's got a mustache. Oh, it's like most modern girls then. I'm just joking, partially. Wait, hold on. These are all things that can describe me: balding, bad teeth, bad skin, mustache. Have I been an ugly girl this whole time?
I think that a life without orgasms is like a world without flowers.
I've always said the same thing. And do you know what? I don't know what I've had less of in my house. Flowers or... It's flowers. I am painfully lonely.
Thought about you sometimes over the years.
Really?
You even kept our old class picture and used to look at it once in a while. Now, if someone were standing here telling me they did that, I'd probably think they were crazy or a pedophile.
Okay, I'm super confused. So the filmmakers know about the Nancy vibe, but still, if I punch you in the face and I acknowledge that I've punched you in the face, it doesn't really help or detract from the fact that I did, in fact, punch you in the face. The film knows it's kind of Nancy, and it doesn't care about that. That's really cool. Yes. Wow. Okay. Then a man called Johan turns up and punches a little person who also happens to be a mime. That is a sentence that I just said.
Don't mind him. He's a sad little man. I'm Johan.
I have literally no idea what's going on right now. I think my brain is like, it's in like fight or flight mode and it's just shut down and is refusing to actually process the information that I'm looking at. I'm gonna have to attempt to, like, I don't know, photosynthesize this film or something. That's something you can do, right? Okay, so what I've gleaned thus far is that Nate, the main character, wants to date Paris, but in order to get to her, he has to find a match for her ugly friend in order to get her out of the picture. This doesn't go so well, and then Johan swoops in, tries to date Paris, and as a result, Nate then begins to realize that he's actually into her ugly friend June. Do you know what? That's actually not the worst premise in the world. I thought this was going to be a pretty shallow movie, to be honest. But they're actually kind of saying, if you take the time to get to know someone, you might actually find out that you quite like the person that they are inside, even if they are ugly as shit and look like a dead person. That's pretty deep, man. That's pretty deep. And I tell you what, I was too young to go clubbing in the noughties myself, but man, they sure knew how to party. Also, remember a minute ago when I said that this movie wasn't as shallow as I thought it was going to be? Turns out I might have been wrong about that, because as we're nearing the end of the film, June, the ugly girl, goes through a number of cosmetic procedures, including like getting veneers done, having like a skin done and stuff. And it turns out she's actually really hot. So let me get this straight. The moral of the movie is, if you can't get a hot girl, date her ugly friend. And if you are ugly, just don't be. Yeah, that's about par for the course, I think. I will say, though, that the acting in this hasn't actually been that bad, and the dialogue isn't as disastrous as I expected it to be.
Oops. Don't worry. It wasn't a smelly one. Oh, I can tell by the way they sound.
You know what? Never mind. Never mind. But I will give you an A+ for the speed racer outfit. That's a nice little reference. I gotta say, though, this is where the fun ends, really. Like, when it's just trying to be a goofy comedy, it's fine. Like, it's terrible, but it's so bad it's actually quite entertaining to watch. But towards the end of the movie, as it gets a little bit more serious, as it tries to deliver the underlying message of the movie, which is in itself a little bit questionable, it just doesn't work. Like, it spoils it. It tries to be too heartfelt for its own good, and it just doesn't come across very well. And I will also say, I've watched a whole bunch of movies that are way worse than this. This is bad, don't get me wrong. It's terrible. I don't know about 5th worst movie ever on IMDb. Don't know if it quite... Like, this was definitely better than Dragon Ball Evolution, 100%. But no, it was pretty bad. The acting was actually alright, surprisingly good at times. But the writing and the messaging, and also the filmmaking, were about as good as you would expect from a movie called The Hottie and the Nottie. But hey, join me next time as we take another look at one of the IMDb Bottom 100 worst movies of all time. But in the meantime, subscribe, you bitch. And if you're looking for props from your favorite video games and movies, go check out Raven Forge, the top link in the description. They support me here on this channel, so if you could go and show them some love, I would be much appreciative. You will not be disappointed. Thank you very much. And as always, a big shout out to my top tier members: Puzzlemon, Flunky, Jax, Brennis, Gindra, Koss, Texas Lawman, Infinite Dum Dum, ATS, and David. The Holy Knights. God damn it, that sounds rude again. The Ring Race. God, wait, why does everything sound like an anus? Tier 2. Steve the Goat, Dr. Melsky, Saeed, MG Virgil, Kunos, Seko, Mark Maiden, Sensei Fang, Michael Turpia, Hadziu, Yarnwich, Mendicant Bias, Dagger D69. Nice. Michael, Jason Coward, Saint Nemo, and Ken. Thank you all very much. The tier 2s, and of course, a huge thank you to the tier 1 members as well. Once again, thank you all very much for the support that you show me. You know, I do take it for granted sometimes. And, you know, there are times when I realize just, you know, just how much you guys do for me. So, yeah, once again, thank you very much. And also, a big thank you to whoever it was that anonymously sent me this sword. I absolutely love it. Thank you. Yeah, thank you each and every one of you. Take care. And there we go. Another day, another video. Will you join me for my next one? You better do, you little bitch. But until then, take care of yourselves, guys, and I'll see you all very soon.